Me, 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 me. If you know it, don't sing along. Still the reigning, still defending, still the undisputed champion. Still the reigning, still defending, still the undisputed champion. Still the reigning, still defending, still the undisputed cruiserweight champion. Bum, boot the board.
You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the P3 podcast. This episode brought to you by Tolerance. Tolerance. It's not for everyone.
Oh my God.
Sure
That's
this is
another
going to be
shirt.
a running joke as long as I'm on my back porch doing these episodes facing Lord Tolerance Hall. That's probably going to still happen.
Oh my God.
Fucking commies.
Wow. Yeah, man, we're the Rooskies.
The Rooskies.
So listen up, all you listening idiots on the Podface channel web enters. This is Beef the Legend in speaking soon.
Now, in fact, this is Beef the Legend
Oh my
speaking
God.
soon.
Great, that was excellent.
Ransom,
What a
that
great
was
intro.
I didn't think that a sentence could possibly resemble a Rubik's Cube, but that did it. You nailed it.
Well, strap in, cockbites, because it's happening. Now,
Oh,
up next,
cockbites.
Tom,
right.
Tiger,
Uppercut.
upper bomb.
Uppercut.
Fantastic.
Well, I had one of my lights flicker off after you were unleashing that wonderful Rubik's Cube of a sentence to the world, and then now that after you finished, it turned back on. So, yeah.
There you have it. There you have it. And
The powers of Mordor are now apparently invading the South Hills. It just went off again. What the fuck is
they
going
spread
on?
everywhere.
My
The orcs are marching. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're on the move.
My place
Sauron's
is
troops are
haunted.
moving.
So if you hear me go radio silent for an extended amount of time, the ghost got me.
Let's just write Tom off because he's about to die.
Okay.
Noted.
You know what, Tom?
So,
It's been fun.
Yeah, we've
Not
had
good,
a
but
run.
fun.
Uh-huh.
Not a lot of
Not
fun,
good,
but
but
it's
fun.
been fun.
hey, you know what? Don't remember me. Just remember those shirts.
Exactly.
All right. Well, no.
My heavens.
So we have Beef the
So,
Legend, Tiger Bomb
yeah.
Tom.
We got Doofinky 1, Doofinky 2, Doofinky 3 is speaking right now, and I'm the advocate. And who am I the advocate for again? Oh, that's right. If you haven't heard, I'm the advocate for the still reigning, still defending, still undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, Hoot the Board.
Baby. Oh, whether by an inch or a mile, whether by hook or by crook, I am still your reigning, defending, undisputed cruiserweight champion of the P3 podcast, baby.
I feel
You
like
can
you
have
might
that
have
belt.
a CM Punk-esque run with this belt. It could last an entire year.
It feels
Ooh.
like it. You can have that belt, but you have to admit, man, a win is a win, a loss is a loss, but a tie is like kissing your sister, man.
Hey, you know
stuck
what?
by the skin of your teeth.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I really could care less. I still have that belt, and it didn't get spray painted by some ruffian over there.
Oh,
Hey,
some
now.
hoodwink.
Some
Hey,
some
it was
some
your damn
ne'er-do-well.
idea, there, advocate.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Why don't you
Wait
take
a
the
minute,
sandwich
good.
out of your mouth and leave me out of this?
It's Hamburger
Maybe he's-
Helper. Thank
Either
Maybe
you.
he's even
way,
a ghost.
I had nothing to do with it, and you can't prove that in a court of law.
It's a dick sandwich, isn't it? All right, hey guys, to kick things off, I have
You're a dick sandwich.
I have a real dick sandwich. I have actually, you know what? This news made me feel like I ate a dick sandwich. Ready, Tom? Give me the intro music.
Go fuck yourself. Do it yourself.
I'm gonna go make myself a dick sandwich right about
Wow, man.
I got you, Poot.
Tom is pissed. Thank you. This is
All I
Fast
heard
Count
right there was
News.
Beef to suck up.
This is Fast Count News with Poot the Bard. And ladies and gentlemen, this is actually, on a serious note, this is actually really
Flatline.
shitty news to hear. Via ringsidenews.com, Dean Malenko reveals that he is suffering from Parkinson's disease.
That sucks.
Starcast 3, here, as per the article again on Ringside News, Starcast 3 was full of great events and panels, and Dean Malenko made headlines as he spoke about his relationship with Chris Benoit. The famous former wrestler also had a very personal relationship with him there as well. That's a weird way to word that there, Ringside News. During his Q&A, Malenko revealed that he is suffering from Parkinson's disease, and he was quite serious about the subject, and some fans might have missed it due to his constant dry humor. But sadly, it's the case. Malenko didn't move his left arm pretty much during the duration of the interview. They even had a microphone arranged on a stand for him to hold. And that's an absolute shame because, seriously, one of the best literal raw talent wrestlers, and in my opinion, one of the most underrated guys, is, and he's been retired from in-ring action for a while. However, you think about like some of the great matches that Malenko had. I mean, his work with Jericho, despite the comedy that happened in that angle, the matches were great. His work with all the luchadors, him being able to adapt that style of his to those luchadors and really kind of bring about something new and exciting was really great.
Well,
wow, that was a catastrophe.
Wow.
Right? Everybody was just waiting their turn very patiently.
That was the Three Stooges, like trying to get through a doorway.
Nah, we're stuck. Somebody get the butter.
I mean, here's the thing with Malenko, man. Like his style, like the technical style, like every other cruiserweight was doing their own thing. They were flipping about and whatever, and that's cool and all. But that style, like the whole technical, has really kind of trickled down to where, like, even on 205 Live and even in New Japan Pro Wrestling, their junior division, there are like two styles of cruiserweights. There are either the, flip all over the place and do crazy moves, or there are the I'm going to, turn you into a fucking pretzel technicians.
Like
so,
Gulak.
like
I was gonna say
exactly. Gulak, Zack Sabre Jr., like those guys are cut out of the mold of Dean Malenko. So I mean, to me, like he was a huge influence on cruiserweight wrestling even now. So that's a big deal.
And you would probably. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
All I was gonna say is even before all the stuff with WCW, look at all the stuff that him and Eddie did in ECW.
Oh,
those
my
were
God,
some fucking amazing matches. If you haven't watched those before, you're missing out. Go back and check those out. That's all I was gonna say.
For sure. Like
it's I mean, it really sucks to hear. I don't have a whole lot more to add compared to what you idiots said. But I can't really remember, and granted I can't remember I guess a whole lot of WCW matches just because I watched them so long ago and I haven't gone back to rewatch them since the network came out. So I haven't watched a lot of WCW programming since they were actually on TNT. But from what I can think of and what I can remember, even when he came in with the Radicals in the WWF, I can't really think of a match that I watched Dean Malenko in and went, ugh, this is a disaster. He seemed like one of those guys that could always make gold out of anything. He could wrestle a stump and it would still be a 5-star match.
He would be able he would be able to constantly deliver at the rate he said, and he did it. Kind of, and I'm not trying to have like puffery statements here. It really was with like a quiet dignity.
Oh yes,
and
yeah, because he wasn't a big mic guy. Like he wasn't a big get on the phone, cut a giant ass promo mic guy. He said what he needed to say, and he got in the ring, and he was spectacular.
The Iceman, I mean,
exactly.
They didn't call him the man of 1,000 holds for for no reason whatsoever.
Armbar!
The moss-covered three-handled family Gradanza.
The Saskatchewan spinning nerve hold.
I'm never gonna
Armbar.
I'm never ever going to forget any of those now from our fast count trivia. So Dean Malenko, from all of us here at the P3 podcast, I think I can speak for the other three adults on this podcast when I say please get well. And we hope that you can maintain and move forward in a healthy way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, put the son of a bitch. Put the son of a bitch in a clover leaf and move on, man. Like Dean Malenko's got this.
There you go. There you go. Well said.
All right. Real quick before we get too far in, Beef, you want to thank the sponsors?
Yeah, man. I would love to actually.
Okay.
I would love to start by thanking Mr. Sean Tisler himself and his involvement with Clearfield IWC or IWC Clearfield X coming up on October the 12th. It's coming up quick, guys. Get your tickets while they are available. The VIP packages are a limited number, obviously, because ringside is limited number. So, if you're in the area, October the 12th, check it out. Another guy. And I mean, we've talked about DJZ, Joaquin Wild, whatever you call him now, used to be IWC. A real recent IWC graduate, Wardlaw, he was, I think, many-time IWC champion.
Yeah.
He is now headed to AEW.
Yeah.
So this is just proof that if you go to an IWC show, you never know who you're going to see and where you're going to see them.
Yeah,
And
Britt Baker was talking about him in like a little backstage interview or whatever. Because she said I think he comes out of Cleveland, so not a stone's throw away from us actually. So
he apparently was pretty heavy in the Pittsburgh indie scene.
Oh yeah,
Yes, he
definitely,
was.
yeah.
Yep. So
And
yeah,
before you move on, though, before we, just not to forget, just to remind anybody who does listen, the 4 people that do, Fatso, and Handsome are going to be in attendance at ringside for this event wearing our brand new P3 podcast shirts.
Yes, sir.
That sounds like a dysfunctional law firm. Fatso, and Handsome. I love it.
Oh yeah, there's not one case that we will win.
That's a
but
new
damn
shirt
it, we'll
idea.
be idiots about it.
I hear what you're saying, Ransom, but Tom's not really a fatso though. So I mean,
I was going to say I'm flattered that you called me. I was going to say, you know what our slogan would be? It would be, we will devour your competition.
Love it.
Before we get way off the mark here, let's go ahead and thank Mr. Casual Gaming Dad himself, Tiger Bomb Tom over there, for not only the awesome shirts that he provides, as well as the awesome content that he's given us, but also for his awesome YouTube and Facebook stuff and Twitch. And I mean, again, if you enjoy retro gaming, the league just started again, right, Tom? Or is it starting here soon, right?
It is starting up here. Technically, it'll be like Saturday midnight, but the September 15th. So not this coming Saturday, whatever that week is. It starts up at midnight, but Saturday, Sunday morning of September 15th. So
the P3 the P3 will be happy to have the Belmont League champion in our midst
Hell
here
yeah.
in a few
Jeez,
months.
I mean, I think you struggled to get that sentence out worse than I struggled to get the intro out. Good lord.
The bell.
And
Bell's palsy setting in.
we would be remiss. Tom, go ahead and thank your sponsor for his awesome work on our shirts, because I think it's worth mentioning again
Oh God,
how
yes.
incredible job he did. So please.
yeah, absolutely. I want to send a big shout out, a big thank you. As I mentioned in my stream earlier today, big thank you to Taylor and everybody over at Gould Gaming for the custom shirts that they did for us. And I definitely put the good word in for us, and told him if he's looking the next time he's looking to add another page onto the list of sponsored pages to keep us in mind. And I'm sure if we have any other ideas for custom stuff or whatever, I'm sure that they'd be willing to work with us in the future.
We've got tons.
We've got tons and tons of ideas.
Yeah. So I'll definitely keep plugging us away for him. But big thank you. And I hope you guys I hope everybody enjoyed the reveal as much as I did, because I was scheming that for a couple of days. It was cooking, and I was like, oh, I can't wait. I hope it goes off without a hitch. And
I enjoyed seeing them tits.
Woo!
Show me that.
Listen,
tits.
hey, before we jump into, we got a lot of AEW to talk about. Before we jump into that, I really want you guys to talk about something that you posted in the chat beforehand. Spoiler alert: Chris Jericho is the first ever AEW champion. Speaking of Chris Jericho and the AEW champion, who posted that? Whoever posted that, go ahead and take this away, because we have to talk about this.
Okay.
Wait, which thing you talking about?
So apparently, So apparently, and I'm gonna go back in our chat here, and I'm gonna find the article again via Ringside News. Love that website. Love that Joker. So I just totally went into full radio voice right there. Love that Joker. All right. So apparently, not apparently, Chris Jericho won the AEW title at All Out on Saturday night, but now the belt apparently has been stolen. Now hear me out here. What at first everyone thought was a good online prank or Jericho working everything, it was confirmed that Tallahassee police said this is in fact real and Jericho's belt was stolen. Now, the way this happened was, and I quote, the victim reported the theft of his championship wrestling belt while he was eating inside a Longhorn Steakhouse because Jericho doesn't ever slum it. The victim stated that he arrived at the Millionaire Club airport terminal and placed the belt inside his rented limousine. The limo driver shuttled the victim to Longhorn while the limo driver returned to the airport. The victim had taken the wrong luggage from the airport, and the driver took it back to the terminal. When the driver picked up the victim from the restaurant, the belt was missing. Responding officers searched the limo in the airport for the belt without success. On-call CID was consulted, and forensics responded to the scene. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What's the over-under on this being a work?
Here's the thing. So first of all, here's my question. Like, okay, it talks about Tallahassee police. Why the hell was Tallahassee police involved? Like, wouldn't this be in Chicago, or was this in the airport in Tallahassee?
Well, I would assume that it was the airport in Tallahassee because I think that's where Jericho lives.
Yeah, he lives in Florida. So the article confused me a little bit. It said that it said that Jericho took the wrong luggage, and the limo driver took the wrong luggage back to the airport. So is it just a simple mix-up of, Jericho took the wrong luggage and this other person also took the wrong luggage? They obviously must look the same.
Was the belt in the luggage, or was the belt just sitting on the seat of the limo?
These are the million-dollar questions.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the thing. Like I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I mean, Put the Bard here is carrying around a piece of plastic and foam everywhere he goes. I mean, you would think Chris freaking Jericho would carry that title around like it was worth $1 million,
By the way,
he's not going to take it into a restaurant and eat with it. How stupid is that?
By the way, absolutely.
Well, you're dumb.
Absolutely legit. I do keep that belt in my car, and I take it with me everywhere I go.
Oh, jeez.
As you should.
But yeah, like that's the question though. Was it just on the seat of the limo, or was it in Jericho's luggage, and he grabbed the wrong luggage?
I'm gonna guess it was maybe in the. This is my guess because I know. I would assume a lot of wrestlers, whenever they travel, they usually throw it in their luggage. So I'm gonna guess it was in the wrong luggage, and whoever grabbed the mixed up luggage realized, oh shit, I have the AEW World Championship, and they're not giving it back anytime soon. I don't know.
Well,
like, what do you do at that point? Like, you can't display it anywhere because it's obviously stolen.
No,
they're not making replicas of it yet.
Yeah,
so it's not like you can hang it up on your wall or like take pictures and be like, "Hey guys, look what I got."
You know what? Give it a week or two, and somebody will be dumb enough to post a picture online with it. I guarantee it.
Well, here's
how great would it be if CM Punk sent out a tweet with that son of a bitch in his fridge?
Oh my god! Oh, son of a bitch!
Nice.
That would be really funny.
Here's the thing, though, like having the belt stolen, it wouldn't behoove the person who took it to keep it, because even if they have no scruples to put it on their mantle and have it be a conversation piece and them try and pass it off as a replica, or I had it made, or I had it this, I had it that, it would be more beneficial to the person who finds that belt to then give it back and return it. Can you imagine the fucking ticker tape parade that they would get?
You would think that they would be comped some sort, if they were a wrestling fan. You'd think they'd be comped some sort of like, hey man, come to this free show, sit ringside, you returned our belt.
We're assuming that they're a wrestling fan. This could be a Joe Blow that's like, oh my god, this thing's got to be worth like 200 grand. Yeah, I can pawn this for 100 grand and be out the door. This could be sitting in a pawn shop in freaking Memphis, and no one would have any idea until they go in there.
GameStop will give you $5 for it.
Yeah, right.
$3.50.
Goddamn long name under.
Yeah, but it's used, so they're gonna knock the price down.
That belt ain't worth no $3.50.
No, but see, like,
so yeah, I guess the question would be: was it sitting on the seat, when the limo driver took the wrong luggage back?
Here's another
was it
question.
in the wrong luggage?
So the way the article makes it sounds like that the belt was with Jericho in the limo with the incorrect luggage. So that tells me he would have it separately.
Oh, I see.
So that being said, you're basically saying, okay, limo driver, take care of this for me. I also read, then it's being speculated that maybe Jericho had a little bit of the bubbly, maybe was enjoying his championship celebration a little bit too much, and maybe got careless with it.
Well,
I mean, but you'd have to. I think you have to wait. Sure, it is absolutely, but you'd have to wait for more details to come out, because even if he had some bubbly, if he left it in the limo and was like, "Hey man, I'm leaving us here, and I'm going to go get a steak," it doesn't matter how much bubbly he had. If he left it in the limo, you would imagine if that's his rented limo, that guy is there to chauffeur him around. He's being, at that time, employed by Jericho. So,
also you would surmise, seriously, that Jericho, to keep, some form of his character, something even close to kayfabe, would want to tout that fucker around everywhere he went. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I know I'm kind of being snarky and everything like that, but like, am I wrong?
No, absolutely not.
The thing is, you got to figure Tony Khan's not a dummy. They have to have some sort of insurance policy on this, right? Or the limo company, or the limo company would have to have some sort of insurance for things that go missing on their watch. Like one way or the other, it's going to get replaced. But I mean,
the limo company wouldn't necessarily have any sort of liability, because they could always make the claim. It's just like if you go somewhere, it's like, we're not responsible for any loss, damage, whatever, stolen stuff or whatever. Like, I mean, because we have that at work. Like, if somebody were to come in and they leave a ring or something like that, like, we're technically not responsible. Would it be shitty of somebody, like of a therapist, to take a client's piece of jewelry or something?
Oh yeah,
it would be. But I mean, hell, I'm one of the ones that will run it out to somebody, like, hey, you left your fucking whatever here, You
want to know why you do that? Aside from the fact that you are a sweetheart peach of a man. You want to know why you do that? Because if you do that, it gets you return business.
There's that too. I don't even think about that. I just do it because it's the good thing to do.
The right thing to do. Right?
Tolerance.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. Oh.
Unfortunately, in this world, there are so many people who are not worried about the right thing and worried about the right thing for them.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm hopeful that it gets returned, but I'm also realistic. And part of me really thinks that Jericho or AEW is working us somehow. So we'll see.
We'll see. We'll definitely have to keep our eyes and ears peeled and wait for more details on that. So do we want to get into the AEW stuff, or do we want to touch on Raw real quick last night?
The only thing the two things that I think we should touch on are the Firefly Funhouse and also the big heel turn.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and so before we get into that, I will say that I was very skeptical coming into King of the Ring, that I thought it was just going to be a vehicle for, like, stupid angles and things of that nature. All the King of the Ring matches that I've seen have been really good. They've been very enjoyable. They've spanned at least one commercial break, if not two.
Yep.
They've all been decent wrestling matches. So, I mean, kudos to WWE for putting on a good product and putting something out there that's actually enjoyable without. And I mean, Kevin Owens was gimmick to death, but other than that, I mean, it hasn't been bad.
But also,
and can I just say, getting one step closer to King Corbin. I'm telling you.
Listen. I'm gonna say something. You can say what you want about Corbin. Like, yeah, we can all give him shit. None of us want to see him be King of the Ring. Frankly, I do. I wanted to see Joe. Frankly, or King Ricochet, because it makes sense. But I will say this: admit it. Corbin did a great job against Ricochet. That was a great match. That was a great match.
You mean Cedric Alexander?
Oh, well, they both do the flippy stuff.
Easy.
I kind of glossed through it.
I was going to say, I was like, wait a second.
No, I was
about to get racial here.
They both did the flippy stuff, man. What is that? Is that wrestling?
No, you're right.
Restless, I guess?
You're right.
Anyways.
But anyway.
Hey, I don't watch Raw because I have business going on Monday nights, but can somebody refresh me on who is still, like, who's left running in the King of the Ring?
Corbin, Joe, and Ricochet as of right now.
Correct.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, wait, did they say what happened after the end of the
Yeah,
Joe?
no. It's a triple threat match next week, to which Baron Corbin replied on camera, "Triple threat?" Like he was a freaking cartoon character.
Super
Oh,
Brawl
okay,
Saturday?
Okay, see,
Super Bowl Saturday?
they either cut that out of the Hulu replay or
Wow.
I know, right? What the
I
fuck?
hope
They
not.
did not cut that out of the
that's
Hulu replay. I watched
okay.
it on Hulu.
So I must have just skimmed over it
Yeah,
somehow.
glossed
Okay.
over it.
Okay, my bad.
Corbin is a trendy pick, and I don't disagree, but I figured it was going to be Corbin over Ali in the finals. Now that, and spoilers for those of you who haven't seen SmackDown yet, now that Elias has beaten Ali, I mean, I don't think it's going to be Elias versus Corbin, and I don't think it's going to be Gable versus Corbin. So I think you're realistically looking either Joe versus Elias or Ricochet versus Elias, and it wouldn't surprise me to see them put the crown on Elias.
What about Andrade?
Yeah, where's he? Yeah.
He's facing Gable tonight, but I don't think that they would do heel versus heel. They may, I don't know, but
no,
I mean,
you have a good point, because that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like looking at the brackets. I'm like, okay, like it's kind of almost a little easier to predict, at least on the SmackDown side. It's like, okay, well, whoever's the winner of Andrade and Gable is going to face Elias. It definitely makes more sense to put Gable versus Elias.
Like, Elias makes no fucking sense there. It should have been Ali versus Andrade in the SmackDown finals. That would have been a matchup that makes sense. And I got no problem with Elias. He's a Pittsburgh guy. I'm happy for him. But I just like people who don't need a crown like Elias shouldn't win the crown. I even think Corbin's in that same boat. I think Ricochet could use the rub. I think Ali could use the rub. I know Joe could use the rub. Not that he needs it, but I know that he would do wonders with it. I just don't think that Corbin or Elias, being where they are as a heel, I don't think they need it.
Right. Well, the like we had already started to allude to. So Firefly Funhouse this week was pretty awesome. Ransom, I sent the link to the video over the messenger chat if you got a chance to check it out.
I have not.
Okay. So in the open of it, basically, Bray Wyatt, Sweater Bray, oh, it's so good. He apologizes to Finn Balor, and he says, he's like, everybody here, he's like, I speak for everybody when we say, like, we're sorry for what the Fiend did to you. And he gives a little wink to the camera, which is just like playing off the whole, like, okay, it wasn't me, but it was me. Like, I love that. And then and then they have the Vince puppet come out with the dun 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 music, and he's like, "What's this I hear about you challenging either Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman at Hell in a Cell?" And he's like, "You're," and Bray's like, "Wait, boss." He's like, "Look what I've been making," and he just has a whole handful of money just fanned out, and he ends up feeding money to the Vince puppet. It's so good.
Fucking
wow, that's pretty
done.
magical.
It's
That's pretty magical.
So yeah,
like
I love how they're playing. It's like they're not playing off the whole like complete. It's not like a complete split personality of like, Bray has no idea what he's doing. It's like he's self-aware, but it's just like the dual personality. So it's like he's like, oh yeah, he's like I'm a big fan of yours, Finn, but the Fiend on the other hand, ... and that. Like, it's so good. They're hitting all the right marks. The only thing I'm a little upset with is that the fact that now that they have acknowledged it on TV, there's a 9 out of 10 chance, and I know card is always subject to change, but there's a 9 out of 10 chance that you are going to see a title match now at Hell in the Cell, and that still feels too soon. Like, Bray's character doesn't feel like he's one that would need or really be desiring the title, because he's just so fucking far out of left field. You know what I mean?
I can't. It's too soon, and I had this discussion on the PWP board with with John D, and John's real cool, but it's now they're literally and we hit this. I don't want to go into it ad nauseum, but they are in a corner now.
Yeah.
To where it's basically announced it's going to be the Fiend versus question mark.
Right.
Either the Fiend wins it or takes a loss that he's not ready for. There's no. I mean, there's that's a no-win situation. I think.
I really think they're gonna pull the trigger on this, or they're gonna have some weird creative way to get him out of this. I really do, because they're not stupid. Like, they might be a little they might be.
You can say no all you want to. I've seen too much stupid.
Heyman's not stupid.
They might be.
Heyman's not dumb.
They might be Beef the Legend trigger happy on making gimmicks happen, or like, knee jerky, but they're not stupid. I really think what's going to happen is they're going to have that. Okay, this is what's going to happen. Blah 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 blah. I really think their exit strategy is having Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt come out and like absolutely like throw like a comedy match. You know what I mean? And like make it shticky, or let him eat the pin. Like, really, if you think about it, and we said it before, it's having Firefly Funhouse Bray as a possible like in-ring person basically gives them license to keep the Fiend strong in a loss. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that would be fine. I think if you're 100% right, if Bray Wyatt comes out and wrestles, regardless of whether it's a comedy match or not, if Bray Wyatt wrestles and Bray Wyatt loses, that's not going to hurt the character. I think if the Fiend loses,
Agreed.
that will hurt the character. But if Bray Wyatt takes a pin, that's fine. That's not going to hurt the Fiend. That's not going to make the Fiend look weak. That's just going to add more fuel to the Fiend's fire to say, you can't do it, I can, let me in.
Yep. And regardless, I think it's going to be nice if they keep it like they're doing, where the Fiend, regardless whether it's Bray or whether it's the Fiend, getting quote unquote Bray in the ring, it's still like the Fiend is a special attraction right now. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to see him wrestling every week, and we haven't, thank God. Because the mystique is taken away. Like, if you think about it, all the mystique of the Fiend and everything, and not to take any away and say that it's anything bad, but the mystique of the Fiend itself was taken away as soon as he got in the ring for the first time, because now we see what to expect. You know what I mean? So it's not as much of a surprise. So I think that's something they need to hang on to, is just keeping him as like a special attraction.
Yep.
Don't you worry. I'm sure that Bray has plenty of ways to keep the Fiend fresh.
Yeah.
He's a smart dude, and it's very clear that they've given him some creative liberties with this one. So
Yeah.
I have no doubt that as long as the Fiend is a Raw-centric character, that between Bray Wyatt and Paul Heyman, we're gonna get some amazing shit. As long as Vince McMahon can keep his stupid fucking nose out of it, we're going to get some high-level stuff. So
Yeah.
We'll see.
So that's just, before you get your Fiend boner on, still keep in mind, as much hope as we have with the creative mindset of Bray Wyatt and the creative mindset of Paul Heyman, still keep in mind, it's still Vince McMahon's ultimate say. Bray and Heyman can pitch all the ideas in the world and say, this is what we want to do, this is the way we're going with it, blah, blah, blah. Vince can change that on his whim, he can change that. And you never know, if he sees the dollars, he's going to want to, maybe he's just going to want to throw the Fiend out there, because the Fiend is money, 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 and that's all Vince sees.
Well,
so just keep that in mind.
I definitely duly noted. Speaking of something fresh, Poot, you wanna touch on the other big event from Monday Night Raw?
Oh, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. And this is like, it's one of those things where you go, wait for it, and Bayley's a heel. Like, and it's perfect, because it's going to set up a really good feud, I think, down the road for those women's tag belts. And the way it was done was great. My thing is, I wish it would have been more Bayley being, instead of going, well, do I go with Sasha or you know what? I'm doing it. You know, it felt like the nerdy kids standing up for themselves, but not in the like, yeah, finally way. Like everyone popped. I popped. And like Tom said in the chat, I got chills.
I got goosebumps even knowing that it was going to happen. Like, I'll tell you what, though, I'll disagree just a little bit. Because her facial expressions didn't seem like it was the nerdy kid sticking up for herself. It seemed like it was something she wanted to do. That smile on Bayley's face, oh, she sold it so good.
And I strongly feel like if Paul Heyman were around in 2003, 4, 5, 6, that John and was in a creative position, John Cena would have turned heel because Paul Heyman knows what the fuck he's doing. And you know what? Kudos, and again, you know what? I can't believe I'm about to say this, but give fucking props to Vince McMahon for stepping out of the way and letting Paul Heyman do his thing. Because you know that Bayley brings in bank with the kids, with the little girls and the little that whole spiel. You know that she brings it all in, and for him to say, you know what, go ahead, pull that trigger.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is going to be really good because Bayley, the entire time she's had her WWE career, NXT, the main roster, no matter where it is, she is like she's always been absolutely the definition of a babyface. Absolutely.
The quintessential, right.
White face baby meat.
Yeah, white face baby meat on the way. But like I mean, it got old and like people stopped giving a shit. Like absolutely stopped giving a shit. And even whenever she came out and did her, like, you know, came out and they said, let's talk to the SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley. Like, everyone, like, it was like nothing and also a little bit of a boo. Like, and it made me sad because I really like Bayley. I think she needs a more aggressive finish now that she's a heel than the Bayley to Belly.
Yeah.
But that's just a minutia thing. But I think I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this. Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope they just take the ball and run with it. And my only concern and this is one I hope I'm not right on, but I hope that Bayley's able to bring it as a heel on the mic and everything, because we've seen what happens when they try too hard to push somebody as a heel, like Natty, and how well that came off. So that's my only concern. That's my only apprehension, where I'm like sucking my teeth. I'm like, okay, I'm excited, but that's going to be my only thing that I'm worried about, is just how is she going to come off? Is she going to come off as like, I'm tough, Bayley? Like, no, you know, it's got to come off. She's got to be able to sell it naturally, you know. I
got a bad feeling that somehow this ends up with Ronda Rousey, because this is something else that came out in one of the chats I was having today. That somehow this lends to Ronda Rousey coming back and assisting the man to give Ronda Rousey that face rub again and to get her back over. And I can't think of a bigger mistake than that happening. But
yeah, that wouldn't make sense, because Becky wouldn't want it and wouldn't allow it. Like Becky's character, you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah, but how often did that happen with Austin though? Where Austin didn't want it. That's how we got Austin to do Love. Like Austin didn't want it. He just kind of stood there, but it happened. Like,
I don't know. I understand the comparison, but just for, I don't know, just this feels a slightly different. And I understand that Becky, you know, kind of got the rub from Austin off of his show last night. I didn't personally see it, but I heard about it. Where at the end of the show, they have a beer together, and then she actually ends up giving him a stunner. And yeah, and like that's like a big compliment coming from Steve, like that, you know, he had her do that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. As always, it's like, all right, let's, you know, I'll hold my breath. That's the only thing I'm fearful of, is that Bayley's not going to be able to sell it as a heel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
What
we'll
do you
see.
think, Ransom?
Yeah, you guys got it.
I mean, that's... No, I mean, like, you know...
Great minds think alike.
Well, no, I mean...
Sasha doesn't hold my attention. Beef puts her up down on the pedestal of greatness and the best thing ever to happen to women wrestling. I'd be fine if I never saw Sasha Banks in a wrestling ring again. I'm sure she's talented. She does nothing for me. She doesn't hold my interest. Heel, face, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with her walking away either. Being a big fat baby. She doesn't hold my interest.
I get that, but like, for me, to be perfectly honest with you, like, heel Sasha, I can kind of get behind, but like the issue.
I'd like to.
Oh God, the issue.
You would?
You do like it horse style, don't you?
Oh, that was a good one. Suck it, Trebek. The
You got another little horse dick last night, Trebek.
Ain't no bum cover for 400.
Okay.
Anyway,
we've gone too far.
no,
He says.
my point with this was like, I wish it feels like it's not forced in the sense that she feels natural being a heel, but the way she's doing it just feels like I'm like, okay, I'm making all the money. I'm this, I'm that, all right. Like you're basically like, it feels to me like just kind of topical right now. Like she needs to get more vindictive, more shitty. And like Bailey, I actually like the idea of her still being like smiley nice, but making it backhanded.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be awesome if she could do it like that.
And that feeds into what Alexa Bliss has been saying for the last 3 months or so. That like Bailey's just a big like phony.
Oh, that's another good.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
All right.
Okay.
I'm
behind that.
I'm liking the cut of your jib.
We'll see how Bailey does as a heel, because some people either can't do it just because they don't have that heel, instinct in them, and then other people also can't do it because they make it seem forced.
Right.
If Bailey is going to be a heel and she comes out and she makes it seem forced, like she's forcing herself to be a heel to either do underhanded things or to say underhanded. You know what I mean? Like Natalya, it won't work. She has to come off as a convincing heel in order for it to work. Or else it's just going to be, it's Bailey teaming up with Sasha. Sasha's a heel, so is Bailey. She's not going to be a heel on her own. She's going to be a heel because she's teaming with Sasha. We'll see.
Yeah.
I would love to see her go above and beyond Sasha. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, she can do it convincingly, absolutely.
Well, we've honestly literally never ever seen the seen Haley, my God.
Heel Bailey.
Haley, yeah. Like Bailey's heel chops. We've never seen it. Never, ever, ever, ever. You know what I mean?
Which is what makes me nervous, though. Like, can she do it? We'll see.
A lot of people fall into that naturally. What did Marty? I mean, he was once Party Marty Skrull. Now, what is he? The villain. The best heroes make the best villains.
That is true.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at Hogan.
Eventually, the best villains, the best heroes that become the best villains, then become the best heroes again. It's cyclical, man. Look at the man Becky Lynch. Like, she was a great face that kind of got mad with the crowd. And then she became the man character, which got way over with the crowd, which became a face again. Like, it's all cyclical, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can do it, it's cyclical. If you can do it,
you're 100% correct. That takes a very certain style, like Charlotte Flair, for example. Keeping in the women, I can never buy a Charlotte Flair face. For me, who she is, what she is, I can never buy her actually being a good guy.
Yeah,
we'll see if I can actually buy Bailey being a bad guy or not. We'll see.
Yeah. Time will tell, as they say. But so, guys, this past weekend, like, we're talking about what happened last night. This weekend we've had a massive amount of wrestling.
Yeah.
2 great cards, man. Like, I still want to go back and watch NXT because I was very much drunk when I watched it. But I remember.
Oh my gosh.
I remember that the tag team match was out of this world, and I remember that Walter versus Tyler Bate went for like 45, 50 minutes, and they fucking killed the entire time.
Yeah, I gotta say real quick, hands down, I think the best wrestling match, and I'm stressing wrestling match, was Tyler Bate versus Walter. Hands down, the whole card, both NXT UK and AEW, that was the best wrestling match of the whole day. Now, I obviously can't speak to New Japan with Royal Quest because I didn't see it, so couldn't tell you. But but for my money's worth, that one was the best match, hands down.
It was, and the thing was, the entire time that we were getting ready, and we were going over to Mordor, making the trek, walking literally the whole way to Mordor.
Even the trees walking that place.
You ain't whistling Dixie. The like
I wish the people at Arby's would have fucking walked and got out of the drive-thru.
Oh my god.
No.
But I was fixing to go. What was it?
Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton. I was going full Tony Clifton on them. But no, like that Beef kept saying, he's like, man, I don't know if I'm looking forward to. I don't know if I'm looking forward to this event. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, why not, dude? The card is amazing. It's going to be great. The tag match, for Christ's sake, that 3-way tag match between Gallus, Grizzled Young Vets, and random babyface tag team that shouldn't have won. Like, I mean, seriously. Like,
yeah.
and joking aside, like, it was absolutely barn burner.
Oh, it was, absolutely. And you know, for me to sit there and say, sorry, I keep hearing myself echoing in the background there. For me to sit there and say that, you know, the Walter Tyler Bate match was like hands down the best. I mean, even though like I think, you know, any smart fan probably had their money on Walter, but man, did Tyler Bate like give you so much hope throughout that match? Like, well, maybe they will, you know, maybe he'll be the one to take it. But like, that match was a perfect example of where Tyler Bate got so over in that match, even though he lost. If you can lose, but it's done in the right way and it's booked the right way, you can get more over losing than you can winning.
And the bonus match between Cesaro and Dragunov, even though I disagree with Cesaro winning, was a great match too. Cesaro had Dragunov like in the spin for like 45 seconds to a minute. It was nuts. Yeah. That dude's a beast.
He spun him 45 times.
I was gonna say I know people were whenever they count, they end up counting more like seconds than rotations. When people are like, oh, he spun him for 40 rotations, I'm like, or was it 40 seconds? I don't know.
Either way, it's fucking impressive.
Either way,
you know.
Cesaro is it really is a big, strong boy. No offense to Tyler Bate.
Like wacky, big, strong boy. What do you? Okay, let's see if Drunky Magoo over there can remember NXT a little bit. What was your highlight from the event? Like, Ransom, what was your highlight?
Yeah, it was definitely Walter Tyler Bate. That was there's two. That was an amazing match. Seeing a guy Walter's size being able to go that long and not look completely blown up.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell they were both tired because, good Lord, how long did that match go?
38 minutes, I think.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference, though, between looking tired and looking blown up.
Right.
Like, Walter didn't look exhausted. He didn't slow down. You know, like, he didn't start botching moves. He was spot on 100% from start to finish. So that was a definite standout for me. And then also the Cesaro, whoever the hell he beat match.
Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah, like if you put Cesaro in a ring with another competitor who can work, Cesaro's another one that can't have a bad match, you know. And not to take anything away from Cesaro, you know, but, you know, if you put him in a match with, you know, freaking Vader or the Big Show, there's only so much that Cesaro can do, you know, with you know, two heffalumps.
Right.
But man, when Cesaro is paired with a guy who can go and a guy who can wrestle, he's $1 million. You know, he's a 5-star match. He's guaranteed to have a 5-star match, that dude. So those were the 2 matches that stood out for me as absolute barn burners.
What about you there, Beef Leroy?
Hold on. Why was I classified as Drunky Magoo?
No,
I
you
think
weren't.
During that
Beef...
event, I had one gin and tonic.
You were not. You were not Drunky Magoo. Beef was Drunky Magoo.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, no. Calm down.
Hey, don't worry. Don't worry. I thought the same thing, but it took me a
me too.
second.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
So first of all, Ransom, you had one gin and tonic, but it was a Ransom gin and tonic. Let's not fool each other. That would put a normal man on the ground. So let's not.
Look, I was still nowhere near your caliber level of
that is
sauce-faced.
That is true. Yeah. But that being
yourself
said,
when the Coronas get cracked open.
That being said, I believe that it was probably. I mean, I'm gonna have to echo Bate and Walter because they did go damn near 40 minutes, and Bate in the 40th hour, did he hit the Piledriver, I believe, or hit damn close to it? He did. I
think he hit it once.
End of the match, and it's like, my God, to do that in minute 1 versus a guy like Walter versus minute 40 when you've already been going. I mean, so I you know, just as a whole, it was, yes, you're 100% right, Poot. I was 100% going, you know, it should be okay. And then as soon as the tag team match got started, I was like, okay, you know, they're amped up. Something's going on here. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, definitely Walter versus Bate, and I, you know, would probably call that the best match of the day. I don't know, man. Those Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks matches can just go all day for me.
Well, but we'll get. That's why I prefaced it by saying the best
I guess that's apples and oranges. Yeah, I guess that's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Though.
Now, I mean, if you're talking about the best, you know, high drama, what was the most exciting match of the day? Probably, it's close. Still, I'm gonna say it's close between that UK match and the Bucks and Lucha Brothers, but it's two different types of matches. So the best wrestling match, that's why I said I would have to give that to Tyler Bate and Walter.
You know what though? I'll say this: I think that Jericho and Hangman probably don't get the kind of credit that they deserve. They put on a very, very good match.
Well, I have a theory of that when we get to it.
I think so. I mean, I'm not saying that it was Bate versus Walter, not at all.
Oh,
but I'm saying that it's, you know, nearing the conversation. I mean, they knew that they didn't have to go 40 minutes to tell a story that they needed to tell. But I mean, it was good for a completely different reason. But yeah, no, I mean, we were, you know, and I can't believe how much I'm saying this anymore. But we're truly blessed to be in the times that we are with these wrestling matches because we're seeing a lot of great action, and for most of it, it's very, very either free, $9.99 a month, or at least affordable if you get in a group and watch with people. So I mean, it's, you know, good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
So let's move on to AEW then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's.
So, I want to hear from you guys, because there was I feel like the card was pretty, you know, a pretty solid card, top to bottom. But first, I want to get any negativity out of the way. So I want to hear, personally, if there was one or two things that you did not like about the AEW card. What say you there, Poot?
My problem with the AEW card, from an in-ring standpoint, you had a really nice mix of technical wrestling and really entertaining matches, good matches. They're starting. The thing is, a lot of people are saying, well, the problem is there's no storytelling in this. Well, the thing is, what they're doing is they're setting the stage. So when they kick off their TV show, they're going to have the seeds of storytelling that can just go forth from here. You know, right now it's one straight line, and then once it hits live TV, you're going to see it branch off. It's like light hitting a prism, right? So here's my umbrage with with All Out. It was kind of like the April Fool's prank of like someone brings in donuts into the office and they're all like supposedly cream or Boston cream filled, and you bite into it and it's mayonnaise. So like it was just like the polish wasn't there. The outside was inviting and most of it was good, but then you hit that center and you're like, ugh. Like during the three-way dance, the Cracker Barrel Crackdown or whatever the actual fuck it was called.
Yeah, that's it.
They had, who was it who came out? Darby Allin came out with someone else's name under his name.
Yeah,
like under him.
Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah, Jimmy Havoc's name under him. And like, okay, WWE's done that shit before, but they don't, it's a once in a blue moon thing. Like this to me, I'm like, okay, guys, you got to be putting your best foot forward. Everyone, from the in-ring talent to the officials to the production team to the people that are, the cons who are supplying money, the ring announcers, everyone has to put their best foot forward. And, like JR sounded kind of bored the entire time, or even one could argue, I'm not saying this, but one could argue embarrassed by some of the stuff. And also there was some stuff that was a little spot festy for me, but overall I was like, they're on an upward trajectory, or they're on a constant upward trajectory with some plateauing. And I think once they hit TV and they can really kind of sink their teeth into storylines and stuff, that's going to be the missing piece that's going to complete the whole puzzle.
Okay, what about you, Ransom?
I'm going to sound a little Jim Cornette here.
Motherfucker.
I'll kill you. Bless you.
Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Yeah, here's the thing. I really like AEW, and I like the event as a whole, but they're doing some things, and even if it's the wrestlers that are pitching it, when you're running a company and these people are your assets, somebody in the front office should be going, no, you guys can't do that. The tax in the mouth with the tape.
Oh.
No. Nope. That's why. Why? If that dude would have swallowed those thumbtacks, it could have torn up his insides, and who knows, it could have led to death. You could have killed somebody. That's not like an oopsie daisy, someone took a bad bump and got paralyzed, or, Vince McMahon is angry at Brett, so he throws Owen off the rafters type deal. This is you killed somebody. The staple gun. Fucking stop it with the staple gun. It was a fun little thing, like, oh, he got his cigarette stapled to his forehead in the gimmick battle royal or whatever they had at the, that first pay-per-view or whatever. Funny. Every time Jimmy fucking Havoc comes out on an event now, is he going to have that goddamn staple gun? Put it away.
Called gimmick, man. Gimmick.
No, that's stupid. Stop it. Nope, that's stupid. Stop it. Oh, my gimmick is I bring a shotgun to the ring, and every fourth cartridge is actually filled with buckshot. That's my gimmick. No, you're gonna fucking kill somebody. It's my gimmick, man. That's my gimmick. That's what I do. I have a shotgun. No, stupid. The freaking Darby Allin with the barrel throwing himself off of there onto whatever the hell he landed on.
Steps.
Why? It's
for
a
no
spotty,
reason.
No reason. It's a spotty dumpster fest. Like it's been done to death. ECW did it to death. Let it go. They're gone now. Fucking Chainsaw Charlie, Cactus Jack, and the Outlaws did their dumpster bullshit. Fine. But the things that now, people's bodies are getting ruined. Stop it, man. And even the Bucks, that move that whatever that one freaking Buck did where he came off the ladder.
Canadian Destroyer through the table?
No, he botched it on the ropes.
Through
the table. You could have died.
Yeah.
Like, that was an unnecessary thing to do. Okay, yeah, we want to do a ladder thing where someone goes through it to every fucking ladder match that turns into a TLC match. Someone goes from the ladder into a table every single freaking time. Every time. You can call it now. Every time. Anytime a ladder comes out, a table somehow is getting involved. Can we have a ladder match that's just a ladder match without ladders and tables and explosions and freaking katanas. Stop that shit. I know I sound like Jim Cornette with the whole traditional wrestling thing bullshit, but like you're cutting, you're really jeopardizing people's length in this business by having them do this unnecessary bullshit. You could have just had him come off of the ladder and hit the ropes and bounce back, whatever. Fine. You could have had him thrown over the ropes into the table. Fine. It's an unnecessary move that could cause somebody very, very grave bodily harm.
Right.
So, before I answer your question, Tom, I want to directly address what Ransom just said. Because when I think of All Out, the only two things I remember are the ladder match and the three-way Cracker Barrel showdown. Like, yes, you are 100% correct. There were some spots that were absolutely not necessary. That Darby Allin coffin drop with, well, first of all, I fucking hate the coffin drop. Let me just say that, period. He did it to Cody, and he missed. He did it with that stupid barrel, and he hit the stairs. Like, there's no reason for you to take a back bump on anything other than the ring. Not the apron, not the floor, not tacks, not, a barbed wire flaming Dorito, nothing. Like, so that move to me, no, you're fine.
I just got such a great visual, and that's a fantastic shirt idea.
I feel like I just want to hear an air horn that's pew, 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 pew. Barbed wire, flaming Dorito, gaming Mountain Dew, pew, 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 pew.
To me, that's a dumb move. But that being said, their AEW is doing something very special right now because they're not putting on. WWE does a great job of giving you quality matches most of the time at pay-per-views that are going to repeat the same formulas that we've had for the last 20 years, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70 years. Great. AEW is not doing that. AEW is saying, hey, you like this? We'll watch this now. Hey, do you like traditional wrestling match? Here's a great Joshi match. Hey, do you like tag team wrestling? Here's a tag team ladder match. And they're going to give you something different every single time.
All right, hold on. Let me stop you there real quick. Before you go further, let me stop you real quick, though, because I want to argue with you and I want to cut your face off. So what was new that they did in either one of those two matches? You're talking about they want to do new stuff now.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've never seen...
Aside from filling someone's mouth with
yeah, I've never seen that. I've never seen that. So, but I'm not talking. So let me go back and say I'm not talking about new necessarily. I'm talking about different styles.
You said the word new.
There is. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I meant different. Here's something.
What was different about that?
Kiss.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
No, you can't. Fuck
the great interrupter. Can I finish? There is a group of people from the early '90s that absolutely love ECW, that are still out there today, that still chant ECW, that still absolutely love that kind of crazy shit. That's why Jon Moxley is over as he is right now, because he does the crazy shit. That's why places like CZW exist, because they do the crazy shit.
CZW almost killed Joey Janela.
That's fine.
Yeah, and where's Moxley
it's not fine.
Where's Moxley right now?
I'm trying. A fucking MRSA bump. Not due to an extreme. He fucking took a bump on his elbow, man. Like, that's like saying, how did Hardcore Holly almost end his career? By taking a backdraft through a table. Like, I get what you're saying, and I hear what you're saying. My point is this, is that AEW is trying to capitalize on every niche. You have fans of there who are fans of Japanese women wrestling. They want to give you some of that. You have traditional fans. They want to give you some of that. You have fans of, like, the big spots. They're going to give you some of that. And you have fans of the hardcore extreme era. They're going to give you some of that. You're not going to see, Tony Khan has already said outright, you are not going to see the hardcore stuff like they did at the Cracker Barrel Crackdown on a weekly basis.
That's fine, but
that's going to be saved for pay-per-views. Okay.
They're gonna.
Well, here's the
thing.
Beef.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're giving me everything that AEW, like, what you like, but what didn't you like about?
No, and I'm going to get to that, because I feel that this is a point worth debating, because as someone who absolutely loved ECW, as someone who loved ECW, and as someone who has watched CZW, as someone who has watched the Japanese death matches with Cactus Jack, like, that niche is out there, and if there's money to be made from it, why the hell not? Now, yes, there is such a thing as too much, And sometimes, like, clearly the spot with I think it was Matt Jackson going off the ladder through the table where his foot caught, like, that was not part of the plan. He didn't plan on, planking through a table. That was not the intended result.
Right, but that's my point, though. Like, that wasn't intentional.
Why put yourself in that situation?
The things that you argued with me was that AEW wanted to do something new, and then you retracted that and told me that AEW wanted to do something different. They're not. That's not.
They're giving you different things.
The only thing different in that is the.
You're right. It was all the same the whole night through. You're right. 100%. It was the exact same match.
All right. Look.
No, hold on. I'm not done. It wasn't different. You've seen people go off of ladders through tables.
I'm not talking about new different, Ransom. You're stuck on the word new. I'm not talking about new different.
I'm talking about the word new. It's not.
I'm talking about they're like, hey, here's an apple, here's an orange, here's a pear, here's a pineapple, like here's a guava melon. They're giving you different types of things throughout the whole card, so that way you don't sit there and get bored and fall asleep halfway through a 7-hour event like WrestleMania, so that way you're seeing something different every single time. And sometimes, guess what? You're not going to enjoy it. That's okay for you. And there are some things that you're going to enjoy that I'm going to sit there and go, well, that was kind of dumb. Well, but you know what?
But you're at that point.
Okay.
You're at that point,
so
though.
What didn't I?
Well, really
so
quick.
what did you not enjoy?
Yes, that's a fair point. So let me get to that. So what I didn't enjoy,
please,
the fact that there was no CM Punk. No, I'm joking. So honestly, the one thing that I think that I was really looking forward to that I think kind of let me down was Pac versus Kenny Omega. I had that pegged to be an absolute barn burner. I thought that they would absolutely tear the roof down and have a great match. It was sloppy. I think it was short, and I was kind of underwhelmed by it.
Okay.
Now, can I really quick?
Ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Just touching on what you said. That's fine. They want to offer all that stuff, and I'm all for variety. But at a certain point, you're going to be jack of all trades, master of none, and everything is going to feel okay at best with a bunch of everything. And the other thing is, too, agreeing with Ransom, with the Matt Jackson spot, yeah, okay, things went wrong. They didn't plan on it. However, in my opinion, you shouldn't have put yourself in that situation in the first place, because you should have made sure, even if it was very clear you were moving the ladder for a keynote spot, it should have been done, because, all it would have taken was a slight variation in that bump for Matt Jackson to be dead. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on it. I'm done.
Okay, so here's the things that the only negatives that I really saw from All Out were besides a couple booking things. I feel Kenny. I understand it was Pac's debut, but I still feel like Kenny should have gone over so he would have had the momentum for whenever Moxley comes back and they pick up where they left off. But that's a tough call, It's like, what do you do in that case? You don't want Pac to necessarily look weak, but then again, he did kind of screw them over a little bit whenever he refused to do the job for Paige, whenever he was still Dragon Gate champion, and I understand his reasoning for that, but that's a whole nother discussion in itself. The Shawn Spears Cody match, I feel like it was the wrong call having Cody go over, because I feel like you just kind of took the wind out of Shawn Spears' sails going into, moving forward here into live TV and stuff. But the other thing was a little bit in the booking of the order of matches itself, because it kind of feels like AEW was kind of booking in the way that like New Japan does, where it's a steady increase all the way up until the main event. But I think if I asked any one of you three, what match was the highlight of the night, you're not going to say that it was the Adam Page Chris Jericho match, which was the quote unquote main event. I think we're going to sit here and say, oh yeah, like that ladder match between the Bucks and Lucha Brothers. My God, it's like you had Spears and Cody, and then the ladder match, and then Jericho and Page, and by the time you were done with that ladder match, you're emotionally spent. You had no buffer in between. You needed, and I don't want to say like a throwaway match, but you needed a match where it was kind of like a cool down sort of period, because you have to have that ebb and flow, and you have to be able to come back down after an emotional roller coaster. You can't, it's like riding the high off of like 20 orgasms in a row or something. It's like, well, Jesus Christ, like, give me a cigarette already. Like, I need to come back down, fucking it just the pacing of that, that
it's a great metaphor. It's a great metaphor.
Thank you. It just, that I feel like they could have moved a match in between the ladder match and the AEW world title. And you can't now some people could try to argue, oh, well, no, you put the ladder match on in the main event. No, because and this is my opinion, pretty much always has been, I'm in the same vein of thinking as some people, where your world title should be your highlight. Now, if there's another match on the card that steals the show, all well and fine, but your world title is your most important title for that company, and it should always be in the main event if it's on the line that night or something. So I just feel like they could have put a match in between in between Escalera de la Muerta and AEW, world title, because it felt like the title match, like, or the importance of it just felt a little underwhelming, unfortunately. But and one other thing in regards to that ladder match, man, like, okay, something in there within that match itself, again, another pacing thing. It's like, when whoever it was that hit the Canadian Destroyer off the top of the ladder and through the table, that should have been it. That should have been like your end spot right there. But they still went on for like another like 7 minutes afterwards. And it's like, what the hell else can we do after this? Like, besides literally murdering a guy, like, fuck, it's, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, sometimes less is more. Sometimes you just gotta like dial it back just a hair, because you're giving away way too much there, especially that spot in particular. After that Canadian Destroyer off the top of a ladder, how the hell do you top something after that? Like, what the hell else can you do to somebody if they quote unquote survive that? You know what I mean?
Here's a point, and I really think that match, the Escalera de Muerte, that I think was your end of your feud between the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers. I think that now they're probably going to keep them separated, definitely through the tag team tournament, and it wouldn't surprise me if not for like another year or so. Yeah, like, I think that's your blow off. So that's why that was, the way that it was, because it was a true blow off match. Now I could be wrong. And in 2 months they could be facing off for the AEW World Titles or tag team titles. I don't think they will be, but I mean, it's a blow off match. I get that. But you're not wrong about the AEW title match. We talked about it a little bit at some point about Jericho losing some steam, and that was my concern with him versus Omega. Hangman, I love Adam Page. I think that he's a great representative, but it may have been a little bit too soon. I think that those two really kind of mesh, and I think that they may not have been the best matchup for your inaugural world title match.
It's not even so much of their work in the ring for the match. Like, I thought the match itself as a match was fine. It's just more so the emotional drainage that you had. It's like the same thing when WrestleMania happened and it's 8 fucking hours long. Like, by the end of it, the crowd was underwhelmed with history in the making, with the women's triple threat main eventing WrestleMania. It just felt the presentation of the title and the quote unquote importance of the match, it didn't feel as important as it should have, because you were emotionally drained from this feud between Cody and Shawn, and then this ladder match of death feud, and the big emotional roller coaster that was the Bucks and Lucha Brothers. It's just you're emotionally and spiritually just spent. You know what I mean? Like, that's you didn't have you didn't have time to recoup and like be like, all right, I'm excited for this again. Like, it's just it was like, I'm going, and I'm dead. That's it. Like that emotionally, that's what it felt like. But
What?
the match itself between Jericho and Paige, I thought was a pretty good match, a solid match. So those were my only hangups with the AEW pay-per-view, really.
And I mean, I think that's fair because like we talk about that with the longer WWE pay-per-views where, you know, where we've said before, where a match falls on the card really determines how it's going to appear. It could be the best match on the card, but if the crowd and everyone is emotionally spent, then it's not going to have the impact it's going to have. That's just the way of the world. But what do you guys say? We could sit here and pontificate on this and the things that AEW could do to improve their product going forward for literally for hours and hours and hours. But what do you guys say we move on to a little bit of the stump the chumperoonies. The chumperoonies.
Once you handle that beef, the legend.
I will, and I just want to put kind of a fine point. We're not ragging on AEW. We're not ragging on AEW because we absolutely loved it.
We're not being fair. We're being
fair because we sit here and we beat the hell out of WWE. It would not be fair to do the same for AEW. So yes,
to be fair.
Tom, you bailed out early, man.
You bailed out way early.
All right.
No, I didn't. No, I was still going. It probably just cut out on the mic.
It did cut out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, wait till it all shakes out in post. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, sure. I can make things magically appear. Yes.
The mid-card maniac is back with us again.
Woo!
That was
Clash of Champions is upon us. So this
Clash of the Night of the Champions?
That's right. Clash of the Night of the Champions of the Dead. Formerly referred to as Night of...
Sorry, I just caught the little extra bit at the end there, too.
Of the Dead.
Nice.
Like that?
Of the Dead. I love it.
Of the Dead. Formerly referred to as Night of Champions, the first namesake event happened in 2008, not counting the Vengeance pay-per-view with Chris Benoit incident. What was the first title to change hands, and who were the participants? And this was back on Night of Champions 2008.
I couldn't tell you. I have no fucking clue.
Wait, Night of Champions 2008? Wasn't it the 2008? Wasn't it the? Was it the tag belts? I think it was the tag belts.
I would guess either tag belts or a mid-card title.
Women, or the European.
No, European was long since dead, bro.
What was it really by 2008?
Oh yeah.
I think
my
so.
Goodness, yeah. Oh my goodness, because the United States came in around the time of the invasion, and that was basically the death knell of the European title.
This was probably around the time I don't think I was watching at this time because that was only, you said 2008. I was only like a little over a year back home and stuff like that from the military, so I definitely wasn't watching. And yes, the European Championship was long since dead. 2002 was whenever it got unified. Yeah.
Ransom, you might be my boy on this because you know a lot of these like weird like mid 2000s pay-per-views. Wasn't the debut of the Legacy, like DiBiase and Cody, wasn't that like at Night of Champions where they were facing Hardcore? It was Hardcore and Cody versus Ted DiBiase and Question Mark, and it turned out that Cody was the Question Mark. Wasn't that a Night of Champions?
That was, yes.
Do you think that was the inaugural match? Because I feel like that was definitely the first match on the card, and that may have been this event.
No. I want to say that was like in the middle of the night.
Okay.
So, no, I don't think that was it.
Now that you're mentioning them, I don't think Legacy came around for maybe another year or so after. I don't think they were 2008. I think they were closer to like, well, no, maybe not. Maybe
I think they may have been before, but I couldn't think that Legacy, like, I don't know.
No, that was the night Legacy didn't happen that night. That's the night that Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes teamed up together.
Right, which I call them Legacy, but that's because they were, but not officially.
They were a team for not very long.
Long enough, a couple months, I think.
Before the official Legacy stable with Randy Orton. But I don't think that was the first one. I think the first one was the ECW title.
Oh,
because I think Mark Henry won the title that night, and I think he
shit! I completely forgot about that.
It was Mark Henry it was a triple threat. Mark Henry, Big Show, and Kane. I can't remember who the champion was going into it.
I think it would probably been Kane.
Big Show. I was thinking Big Show because Big Show had it at December to Dismember, which I think was 2007. He beat I think RVD in that stupid cage match, the event that was all over like 20 minutes. So.
But yeah, I think the first title to change hands at that Night of Champions was the ECW title. Mark Henry won that night, and he became the ECW champion. But I can't remember if it was Kane or Big Show that had the title. But the three of them were in a triple threat match.
I think
Mark Henry winning was the first one to change hands.
I think Big Show was Big Show was the champ.
Luckily, he didn't ask it. He just asked what the title was and who were the participants. So I actually agree with you, Ransom. That's a stout call. Are we gonna make that our final answer?
The ECW title and Big Show taking it?
ECW title and the ECW title with Mark Henry, Big Show, and Kane.
I think that's
my guess.
I think that sounds good.
I think the tag match was after that.
I would trust.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I would trust Ransom on this one because it seems like it makes sense. That's about the time frame. Yeah.
All right, here we go. It is. The first title, oh my God! The first title to change hands was the ECW Championship when Mark Henry defeated Kane in the Big Show in a triple threat match. Damn, Ransom. Damn,
yeah, buddy. Yeah,
wow.
buddy.
Dude, look at you, Ransom. That is awesome. Great job, dude.
I want to say that I watched that one not too long ago. That pay-per-view or I listened to it at work. Not too long ago. Yeah, it was a couple months, but it was definitely this year where I was scrolling through just listening to random pay-per-views at work, and I think that was one of them.
Nice.
So that's why that one stuck out.
Dude,
and here's a
great job.
Here's a little bit of a ditty from the Mid-Card Maniac here to be shared with all of us. Beef, always legendary. Tom, finally saw some CGD vids. Awesome. Poot, Mr. Wrestling Encyclopedia, and Mr. Ransom. The check for $49.99 is in the mail, and my shirt size is still large.
I like it.
That's
I like it.
outstanding.
That's a
I
deal.
love it. That's great.
All right, are we doing another one of those, or are we going into a hot tag trivia?
Now let's do the hot tag. I say save the.
Yeah, we're gonna. And by the way, we love the Mid-Card Maniac because he does get in on all this. But please, by all means, any of you listening, Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast at gmail.com. Send 2 emails, one with the question, one with the answer, and we will read your question live. I promise. Well, live to tape, but I promise. Send us those questions. Go ahead with some hot tag, y'all.
Who's kicking it off?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I'll kick it off. Beef, you ready?
Yes, sir.
There have been tons of stables in wrestling, a lot of legendary ones. Degeneration X, the Undisputed Era, of course. Let's see, what else? I mean, we just talked about one, Legacy. Evolution, or Evolution, it's a mystery. There's the NWO, for Christ's sake. There's been tons of them. But I'm going to talk about the one that sits above them all, the one that is most infamous. The Dungeon of Doom.
Yes, I knew it.
Yes.
Now, Beef, I want you to name me the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 members over the ages in WCW of the Dungeon of Doom, and I want at least 3 non-members, but associated with the Dungeon of Doom.
Okay.
And Kevin Sullivan doesn't count.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, he was the leader though, the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan.
That's why I was gonna say Kevin Sullivan doesn't count.
Oh, so Taskmaster.
There
okay.
you go, because it was different. He
So
went through a transformation.
Gotcha. So Taskmaster, the Shark.
Okay.
What was Beefcake's name? The Booty Man. Something. He was named after the one killer.
I know it.
It's Zodiac. The Zodiac.
Yep.
The Giant, obviously.
Yep.
I think Kamala was there.
Yep. You got 5. You're halfway there, big boy.
Was Dave Sullivan in the Dungeon of Doom? Old Evad? I don't know. I'm gonna table that for now. Dungeon of Doom. Those 5 I think were solid. I think the Sinister Minister was part of that pack, right? Question mark?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say Mortis and Wrath and the like, but I don't think that they were there. Oh boy, because it was very like Hogan centric. Because they were like, let's take down Hulk Hogan. They were all like jobbers. Except for the Giant, obviously. Oh shit, I'm stalled out of 5. I didn't know there were 10 of them. My God.
Yeah, there were 10.
Was Jake Roberts there?
Nope.
Radio silence.
I was
Shockmaster.
Pardon?
Shockmaster.
Nope.
El Gigante.
I'll give you. No, actually, no, because you already said the Giant, and we know who that is.
Right. Yeah. No, I was referring to Giant Gonzalez.
No.
Okay. Abby the Butcher. Abdul the Butcher.
Nope.
I'm dry, man. That's all I got.
All right. I'm not gonna fibbity fap around with this. You ready? I'm gonna give you the 10 members.
Can I try to guess 2?
Sure.
There are 2 that stick in my head. And I don't know if they were or not. Ming and the Barbarian.
Yes. Ming and the Barbarian.
Shit.
All right.
Those are the only ones that I knew.
You guys ready? Tommy, you got any to throw in the mix?
None after that. No, I'm good.
Oh, you guys were so damn close. All right, you ready? Here are the official members of the Dungeon of Doom. The Master, the Taskmaster, Kamala, the Shark, the Zodiac. I'm going to save one for the end. Beef's going to kick himself. The Giant, Ming, the Barbarian, the Yeti.
Ooh,
and
I just thought of one. Damn it.
The big one that Beef is going to kick himself, Big Van Vader.
What?
Yep,
Yeah,
Big Van Vader.
That? Jeez.
1995, Big Van Vader. Because it's when he came out with the helmet. Ready? Really fast. Non-members, but associated. You ready? Here we go. Real fast. Lex Luger, Jimmy Hart, Glacier, Hugh Mortis, Max, Big Bubba, Braun the Leprechaun, One Man Gang, Conan, Jacqueline, Loch Ness, Z Gangsta, and The Ultimate Solution. Fun fact, on the independent circuit, there were 6 members. Kevin Sullivan, again, of course, The Wall, Gangrel, Luna Vachon, Psycho Sam Dudley, and Hard Rock Kenny Sweeney. By the way, one of the worst names ever and most insensitive, non-tolerant names ever, The Ultimate Solution. Stop and think about that for a second.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, that's it. Greg, I give you guys all the credit in the world. That was really good.
Wow,
you know what? Quick question. Who is the Master compared to the Taskmaster? I don't remember who the Master was.
I think that was Dave Sullivan, wasn't it?
Wait, wasn't that the big old kind of decrepit looking dude that was like sitting on a throne and that was it? Like
yes.
No, that was
okay. Yeah, okay, now I remember. That was the Master. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Good Lord. What a crazy fucking stable that was.
What a mishmash of insanity.
Yeah.
All right. So that was it for me. Beef, it's up to you.
All right, Mr. Tiger Bomb.
Uppercut.
Tom, thank you.
Tiger Bomb, uppercut, Tom.
It works.
So, the greatest of all time is up for debate, obviously, but my opinion, of the greatest of all time is the man who just captured another major title on Saturday night. I'm talking, of course, about Chris Jericho. I want for you, he's had a hell of a career.
Yep.
I want you to name
English?
in ECW.
In English, please. Go ahead.
I want for you to name in ECW the titles he captured, in WCW the titles he captured, and in WWE at least 2 of his tag team partners that he held world titles with.
Ooh.
Good Lord.
Wow. Okay, wait. Okay, so in ECW, I believe, I'm trying to remember what titles they had in ECW. So they had the heavyweight, the tag team, and the TV titles in ECW, correct? That was it, like back in the day, correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I don't know if he captured any titles in ECW or not. I don't think that he did, but if he did, it would have been a TV title. He was never ECW champion that I can remember. You know what? No, I'm gonna say he didn't capture any titles in ECW. I hear somebody sucking their teeth over there, so it makes me want to change my answer. Okay. WCW, I believe he held the cruiserweight title, and shit. Trying to remember if they had a TV title and the US title, did they not?
Mm-hmm.
They did.
I think he got each of those before too. So I would say cruiserweight, TV, and US title. And then in WWE, you said you wanted at least 2 of his tag team partners that he won world titles with.
That is correct. Either the WWE Tag Team Championship or the WWE World Tag Team Champion. Either one.
Well, Big Show for sure, because Jericho was a thing. And shit, who else did he win tag titles with? Christ, I gotta think back. Damn it. I don't know why. There should be like an easy one that I'm just not getting right off the top of my head. Trying to think, because in the early, when he debuted, they pushed him pretty hard in the singles run, and he was the first undisputed champion. So tag titles would have been later. Me think. Damn it. I don't know. I can't think of a second one off the top of my head, because I don't remember him having many tag team title reigns. I remember he had a shit ton of intercontinental title reigns, and he had quite a many world title reigns, but I can't remember tag team stuff besides him and Big Show.
So there were actually almost as many tag team title reigns as there were intercontinental reigns, but I'll get to those in a minute.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, go ahead.
Right? So you and I were on the same wavelength for ECW, because I had to look it up. I didn't think he held any titles, but he did.
He held the TV.
Yes, sir. He did
title?
hold the TV title. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Which is not bad for the cup of coffee that he spent there.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, we were on the same wavelength. I was thinking the same thing in WCW, that he held all the 3 of the mid card, but he did not. He was cruiserweight 4 times and TV champion once, but never US title.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
As far as tag teams, yeah, he was tag team champion 7 times. 2 WWE tag team championships, 1 with Edge, 1 with Big Show.
Fuck, I was gonna say Edge for a second. Okay.
5 world titles with Edge, Big Show, Christian, The Rock, and Chris Benoit.
Okay.
But still, nonetheless, you pretty much knocked it out of the park. So yeah, great job.
Oh, I'll take a half a beef coin on that one. I mean,
Nope.
Yeah.
Hashtag know your goat. Good job, Tom.
Wow. Go your notes.
Well, you said I knocked it out of the park, so I was gonna take a half a beef coin over a full beef coin, you dick.
No, I'm saying, like, know your GOAT. Like, yes, you know the greatest of all time.
Oh, I thought you were telling me, like, know your GOAT, you schmuck. I was like, well, damn.
No.
Okay, sorry. I was completely not picking up what you were putting down. Thank you. I appreciate that. And my apologies. And my apologies to, yeah. Anyways. Was it Mead Ransom? Oh, this is a fun one, Ransom. You're gonna love this.
Charlie Sheen.
Close.
Damn it.
So we just got done having an awesome Saturday with AEW All Out and, more importantly, NXT UK Cardiff. But I want to talk about the good old European Championship. We're taking it back again, as is my want and my will. As far as the European Championship goes, we know that it was held by a lot of mid-carders, some of them with multiple reigns, some of them not. How many different individuals held the European Championship in its inception to its end?
How many people?
How many different people? I'll be generous and I'll give you a ±3 either way.
±3.
Yeah, if you're within 3 over or under, I'll give it to you.
Good Lord.
But not everybody else gets the same luxury. Just because it's your question, you'll get the plus minus.
It had to have been a crap ton of people. Oh hell. When did it start? Can you tell me when it started and when it went away?
I will actually. I was actually just about to do that for you. So it was incepted in February 26, 1997, and it was unified July 8th, 2002.
97 to 2002.
Mm-hmm.
That's not as long as I thought.
That's what she said, but go on.
Well, that's true. Let's say high 20s, 20. 12, 28. 28.
28 is your final answer?
Yeah, I don't know. 28.
Okay. Beef or Poot? Would you either one of you like to venture a guess?
Individuals, 15.
Poot?
I'm gonna go with 25.
Well, we're not going off of Price is Right rules, but Ransom was the closest. You were one off, Ransom. 27.
Wow.
27 different individuals. And I'm going to go through them real quick for you. Here we go. British Bulldog, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Owen Hart, D'Lo Brown, X-Pac, Shane McMahon, and then it was vacated for a period of time. Then, once it was brought back, Mideon, Jeff Jarrett, Mark Henry, Val Venus, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Perry Saturn, Al Snow, William Regal, Crash Holly, Test, Matt Hardy, The Hurricane, Bradshaw, Christian, DDP, yeah, buddy, Spike Dudley, Jeff Hardy, and then Rob Van Dam was the final one when he unified it with the Intercontinental Championship, I believe it was.
Jeez.
Damn.
Holy
yes,
shit.
Sir.
I forgot about the Hurricane, and I had no idea that Bradshaw held it.
Yeah, there was a couple.
Freaking Bradshaw.
Yeah, there was a couple I didn't remember in there myself too. Like I didn't remember. I didn't remember Bradshaw or DDP holding it. So, yeah. But yep, that was it.
All right, Poot.
All right, yeah, let's do
touched
it.
Touched on Hell in a Cell with the Fiend.
Yeah.
So my question's related. Two-parter, as per the usual.
Okay.
First part, I want you to tell me how many Hell in a Cell matches in WWE there have been.
How many Hell in a Cell matches?
Just
well,
WWE.
Then I'm gonna ask the same question that you did. What year did it start?
First Hell in a Cell match was 97. Last Hell in a Cell match was 2018.
Well, okay. Okay, how many? I'm going to go with... Well, okay, so if there was one a year, we can surmise that there's at least, like for the pay-per-view, we can at least say there's 22, at least. One a year. There were some years there were 2 or even 3, so I'm going to go with 38.
Beef.
I mean, 60 seems like a big number, but then again, I mean, if it's been around that long, it seems too much. I'll say 30.
Tom?
That was going to be my guess, was an even 30.
Poot's the closest. It's an even 40.
Holy shit.
That's the
40 Hell in a Cell.
All right.
Yeah.
I also want you to tell me the 1, 2, 3, 4 people who are 100% in their victories in Hell in a Cell matches.
I feel like we had this before for some
We had
reason.
something
We had
either
close.
this or something very close to it, yes.
Very close to it.
How many people?
Yep, how many people are 100% in their record at Hell in a Cell?
I know one is Brock Lesnar. I know that. Because I remember Beef mentioning, he's like, wow, he has a 100% win rate.
Yep, I remember
That's
that
correct.
too. Yep.
How many are there?
4.
There are 4?
Yep. Got 1.
Well, I mean, I know this seems like a shitty way to put it, but if Roman Reigns was in one, I know he was in at least one. I'm going to say Roman.
No.
Ooh.
Roman Reigns is 2 and 3.
Oh, wow.
Well, sorry, he won 2, he was in 3.
2 of 3. Yeah, still not bad.
Okay, so we have Lesnar. Batista?
Yes. That's 2.
I thought that was another.
Oh wait. Owens, Kevin Owens.
That's correct.
Okay, there's one more. Oh, I think I know this one actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's quite a few more. I flubbed this one.
Oh man.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 more.
Oh my.
Well,
That's
then, wait. Last year at Hell in the Cell. We had was it last year or the year before that was the Uso New Day? Because I forget it that there have been tag team
And women's.
and women.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh,
Okay.
can I
Well
throw
then
one
we're
out there?
gonna say Charlotte because she won that one.
Yep.
Yep.
You need 4 more people.
And then I'm gonna say the Usos because they won that one.
There's 2. You need 2 more people.
It wasn't Punk. Punk has a really bad record. Triple H doesn't make sense. Neither does The Undertaker, because he's been in an actual fuck ton of them, and he's lost some of them.
Yeah, Punk is 2 for 5.
Whoa. Jeez, Punk.
That's abysmal.
Get your shit together. Edge? Is Edge? No.
I'll give you 2 guesses. If you get them wrong, then
Ooh, I know one. For sure.
ooh, shut it.
Angle?
Yes.
Wow.
Fuck. I couldn't even get the last one. I have no idea. I don't know. Fucking Steve Austin.
No. Tom?
Seth Rollins.
No. Beef?
The one I was thinking of was a cage match. Never mind.
Go the other route of who I just said.
The Rock.
No. Dean Ambrose.
Nope.
Oh,
Son of a bitch.
Last person who is 100% in Hell in a Cell is Mark Henry.
Wow.
Fuck, no way.
1 and
yep,
1.
never got that.
Holy
That's
shit.
it.
Sorry, I flubbed that one a little bit. I missed that little list of 1 and 1.
Well,
So,
that
yeah.
I mean, a lot of those ones were kind of like easily surmised. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
but no, that was good. That was a good round of hot tag trivia.
The one I was chomping at the bit for at first was the woman's one but for some reason I couldn't remember if Charlotte or Sasha had won it, and I was like, I think Charlotte won that one.
Oh yeah,
'Cause that's
Charlotte
whenever
won that one.
that's
Yeah.
whenever her and Sasha were hot potatoing the title back and forth.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Charlotte won on pay-per-views. Sasha won on Raws.
Oh,
It's a
and
fucking criminal.
And fun note, I brought this up on Saturday. That was also the same event where the Brian Kendrick had a match, and somebody in the crowd said, "Cut your hair, you fucking hippie." I loved it.
Oh, poor Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, no, they weren't being very tolerant of him.
No, they
No,
weren't.
tolerance
No
was
tolerance.
Being that we're almost to the end here, we talked about August being a big wrestling month, and it did not disappoint whatsoever. I feel.
No.
I want to hear from you guys. What was your favorite event? Pay-per-view, special event, whatever. What do you got?
Go Ransom. I got to think for a second.
Oh jeez.
You won overall.
Uh-huh.
Overall, mine was. I think the first NXT. NXT what?
Takeover
Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah. That one was my favorite.
Not a bad pick. That's a pretty fucking incredible event.
I would probably have to agree. The UK Cardiff show was a very close second though, because they both had like the same amount of matches, and they both had the same amount of really good matches too. You know, both main events were awesome. Both the tag matches were awesome. And can I say real quick, thank God that the prophecy is almost fulfilled, and that we have the tag team titles back with the Undisputed Era again. Can I get an amen?
Hey,
No,
Amen.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna say NXT Toronto, but just by a hair, a little over over NXT UK Cardiff, and then I would have to put All Out and I don't know. All Out and SummerSlam are kind of a tie. You know what? Actually, I might give the edge to SummerSlam a little bit, just because.
Wow.
Honestly, because it was the first half of it was meh, but the second half really brought it. And I mean, fucking the Rollins Lesnar match was good, and the Fiend just fucking had put me in a huge wrestling boner for the whole rest of the month of August and moving forward anyways. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say the NXTs, Toronto over Cardiff just by a hair, then SummerSlam, then All Out. Sorry, AEW. I know I love you usually, but just.
What do you think, Poot?
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm gonna say NXT UK take over Cardiff. Like top, like bell to bell, top to bottom. That event, every match had really, really great wrestling in it. I was absolutely sports entertained from top to bottom. I had no complaints. Like, honestly, I mean, you know, you could make the argument for why is Cesaro going over Ilya Dragunov, but like, he's coming in and kind of imposing his will. You know what I mean? He's going to be another gatekeeper. Hell, they could put the Kings of Wrestling back together. They could. Dude, it would be amazing if you put Cesaro and Cassius Ohno back together as a tag team. Fuck. Just imagine what they could do with some of those tag teams over there. Really. Think about it.
Yep. Fucking Gallus. Fucking Good Young Vets. Hell yeah.
All I'm thinking of is Cesaro versus Walter if Cesaro stays there for a long time. God, I cannot. That's fantasy booking 101 there for me. So,
but that's my point.
So,
is that,
real quick before we end, I
have an opinion too.
Well,
poor little beef of them.
Well, that was my thing. It's like I really wanted to say my gut wanted to say SummerSlam only for the Fiend having that literally legendary entrance. We're going to be talking about that for a while. We are. I really believe that. But no, top to bottom, bell to bell, NXT UK Cardiff, bar none.
So it's a tough pick. I think, you know, we were really blessed. And I have not seen Royal Quest yet, so, you know, that notwithstanding. And the G1 Climax was very good, as it always is. So my pick, I'm going to be the mark. I'm going to pick AEW because there was not one point that I can remember that I looked at my phone, that I was Googling something, that I was thinking of something, or that I was bored, that I was drowsy. Like, every single match gave me a different pop, gave me a different, oh, that's awesome. Like, every single match had a different reason for me to watch and really be entertained by it. Close number 2 would be Cardiff, which is weird because, like we said earlier, I was not expecting it to be lights out, and it was lights out. Yeah, I think if Kaylee Ray and Toni Storm would have come a little bit harder, it may have topped All Out for me.
Yes.
But take it easy. But I mean, I think
I would.
for
Pootski, long distance, too sweet.
For what it's worth, for entertainment value, I think All Out, because there are at least 3 or 4 matches that I can say that was the match of the month at All Out, whereas all the other ones have maybe 1 or 2. NXT Toronto really kind of missed the mark for me a little bit because I think there were a lot of questionable decisions as to who won. Great matches, but if at the end of the day I'm going, well, yeah, but, you know, then I you know.
Yeah, but
and obviously SummerSlam.
I was going to say, but hindsight, looking back on it, now that you see why Shayna retained and why the Street Profits retained, like, doesn't it kind of make sense though now? Like, now you're not
with the Street Profits, because here they just, you know, they lost like 2 weeks later. Like, I don't understand why you don't pull that plug at the event. You know, same with Roddy Strong. Like, then you can build the the big I don't know. I just feel like it missed a little bit. But yeah, I mean, honestly, SummerSlam was even better than I expected as well. So, you know, there's no wrong answer. There's no disappointment. I feel like I was entertained by all of them. But for me, for my money, I thought AEW was the best of the best this year, or this month anyway.
Fair enough.
So let me ask something here before we wrap up. This doesn't have to be long-winded. It can just be really quick. Do you see the prophecy being fulfilled with the Undisputed Era draped in gold? And if you do, when do we see it?
Yes, and I see it before War Games.
September 18th. Yes, sir. Roddy Strong versus Velveteen Dream. Roddy Strong gets the victory on the debut.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking.
Boot?
Yes, I either see it happening on the debut, or I see it happening at War Games. But it makes more sense. It makes more sense to have it happen on the debut, because then that sets up having all the champions draped in gold in War Games.
Or on October the 2nd. They may hold
I
that.
don't know about that.
Why not, man? Why not? Like you got to hold that one card in your hand, because you know that on October 2nd, NXT is going to do something very special to make sure that they are keeping the eyes away from AEW.
No, they can put on a title match, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be one that, where we think the title is going to change hands. They could just put on a title match with Adam Cole, and
baby.
Yeah, I mean, and that in itself will be pretty good. But what do you think, Ransom? Do you think it's going to get fulfilled?
Does the October 2nd happen before War Games?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if it does. I hope it does. But I could see that being one of those little, carrots they dangle in front of you, and we just never get it. We come close, but something happens and you just don't see it. But I hope it does. And I don't know when it happens, but I think if it's going to happen, it's going to happen before War Games. And when you go rolling into War Games, you have all the Undisputed Era draped in gold.
Not trying to talk more about it, but it like they've been talking about it way too much and hyping it up for it not to happen.
And if it doesn't for some reason, then that's the only reason of how you get Roderick Strong or put some sort of crack in the Undisputed Era. So, but I hope it happens as well too. Yeah. So,
hey, speaking of War Games, by the way, gents, I know we talked about having a great August. That's going to be an awesome month of wrestling in November as well, because they have Full Gear for AEW, along with StarCast 4, which is in Baltimore. Just saying. And then you have, War Games on the 23rd, followed by Survivor Series on the 24th. So a lot of good stuff is coming our way. And in between then and now, we have TV tapings. We have all kinds of good stuff. So I think, wrestling's in a good place right now. To be honest, to be fair. There it is.
Yeah.
I think wrestling's probably in the best place it's been in about 12 years.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. All right, Beef, why don't you thank sponsors and we'll get the hell out of here.
Sure. I would like to thank, of course. Well, you know what? I'm going to lead with Casual Gaming Dad this time. We would like to thank Mr. Tiger Bomb Tom and his Casual Gaming Dad Corner on Facebook for everything he's giving us as far as all those entertaining videos. Seriously, this guy does not stop entertaining. You love him on the podcast, go check out his videos on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube. Give him the likes, the subscribes, the loves, and make sure you tell him that the P3 sent you. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention one more time IWCX Clearfield X. My God, I'll never get the title of that event right. IWC Clearfield X on October the 12th, and Mr. Sean Tischler, of course, kind of a head man in that area. Shoot him up, hit him up for tickets. Don't shoot him up, hit him up for tickets.
Whoa!
Wow.
Market zero.
Market zero.
Sean's gonna be riding the H train.
Again, they are going to be moving fast, guys and gals. So if you're interested in the area, make sure you get those VIP packages while they last.
And come see us.
And of course, I really think we should thank Gould Gaming again.
Yeah, big thank you to Gould Gaming for the custom P3 shirts, which will be donning at the Clearfield show. So you'll see us there. It's hard to miss us. Even still. I know I'm the smallest one of the group, but it'll be hard to miss me because I'll have Tiger Bomb Tom blazoned on my back. So you see some schmucks with a P3 shirt and names on the back, that's us. Can't miss us.
Yep. And thank you guys for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, pretty much a lot of places you can find your regular normal podcast. We would appreciate the listens, and make sure you subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Check out our Facebook page. Just search Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast on Facebook. For Beef the Legend, Tiger Bomb Tom, the Madman Alec Ransom, and myself, the reigning, defending, undisputed Cruiserweight Champion, Poot the Bard. Baby, have a wonderful evening.